Welcome to What Are You Sporting About podcast, a podcast about business, employment, sports, and entertainment to help educate, support, and guide you to your next. Here's your host, attorney Sivonnia DeBarros.
Hello, everybody. I am Sivonnia DeBarros, a protector of athletes. And of course, I'm always excited to speak with you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about assets. What are the assets that you have? What are the assets that you have? So I hope that I can kind of break some of the false beliefs around what assets are, but also give you guys some tips, some things to think about as you are thinking about building a business, leveraging name, image, or likeness, or if you are a retired or professional retired athlete and you're trying to figure out what should I do? What can I do? Well, this might be the episode for you. So look, before I dive deep into this content, I just want to reintroduce myself for you guys. If you are new here, welcome. Please let me know where you are watching from. Go ahead and comment if you are watching on a platform where you can enter comments. If you're watching this on the replay, catching this through the audio, thank you so much for being here. Guys, I just want to give and show my gratitude. I am honored that you constantly come back to capture this content that I have for you. So again, my name is Sivonnia DeBarros, protector of athletes, and I'm also the founding attorney for the S.O. DeBarros Law Firm. I represent business owners and athletes, helping them to increase their business profits by boosting their legal protection. And of course, guys, I'm the creator of this podcast, What Are You Sporting About? So if you have not yet subscribe to What Are You Sporting About podcast, make sure you go and find your favorite podcasting platform, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. So let's dive into this, guys. And I will not keep you all day because this is going to be straight to the point and it's going to help you to implement some things so that you can begin to think about how are you going to show up in the spaces that you're in. So what assets do you have? What assets can you create? Well, one of the biggest misconceptions is you have to go and buy something to have an asset. What is an asset? You are an asset. You are the asset. So sometimes we undermine the value that we bring to the table. We undermine the experiences that we have accumulated over time. We undervalue the education that we've accumulated over time. Education can come in so many different formats. Education can be the value of actual studies that you've received. So if you have a degree that you've attained because of going to school or some type of vocational certificate or whatnot, that is a form of asset that you bring to the table, your knowledge, your learned knowledge. But then you also have the value of, or the asset that comes to the table when you build in the knowledge that you've gained through learned and lived experiences. Sometimes I think we kind of really throw that out of the window with the bathwater, so to speak, because we think that things have to be so hard. Like we have to go and find this arduous way of accumulating some type of skill that can be created as an asset. But it's not true. Like you are the asset. And so we have to start thinking about ourselves and what we bring to the table in the sense of dollar figures, right? Because if we're not going to value ourselves, who else will? So you yourself, first, foremost, you yourself are an asset and you have to start seeing yourself that way. The danger is other people will undermine your value if you allow them to. So you heard the saying before, people treat you the way you allow them to, but that is absolutely true. And it's true in business as well. If you do not properly value yourself, you as the asset in your business, as your brand, then other people will undermine that and they will undervalue you. Okay, so that's number one. The other way you can find or create value is looking at the things that you have created. What have you created? Do you have a business? Have you created products? Have you created services? Those are the bedrock of us engaging into business, right? And you also want to look at your money. If you have money, but you say, okay, well, I don't technically have a business, but I want to invest in someone else's business. Well, you are creating an asset because what you're going to get on that return will be an asset. where you're going to get back on that return from the investment is an asset. So here's what assets look like. Assets look like intellectual property that you create. So that's your brand name, books, registered brand names. It could be a product that you've created. It could be a new methodology that you've created. It can be a simple tool that's been created. An asset could be high valued furniture or fixtures that might go into a business location. It could literally be a sign that you sell to someone, or that a sign that you created yourself. And when I say sign, like a business sign, something that has and hold value. So your asset can also be retirement vehicles. So do you have an IRA, a Roth IRA? Do you have a 401k that you've created? Do you have a self-funded savings account? Do you have a life insurance policy that you have paid into? Do you have a term life insurance policy that you've paid into? Like, all of those things are assets. They're all assets. And we want to start valuing what we have, write it out, bring it to the table, so we really understand what is the true nature of the value that we currently have, and how can we accumulate more assets that can increase in value, not decrease, but increase in value, to actually give us the long-term sustainability that we desire. So number one, you are your asset. Don't undermine the lived experiences and the education that you've accumulated. Two, look at the things that you've created yourself that are and can be assets, but also look at the things that you may be purchasing or self-funding that are also assets. So look, what I want you to do now is make sure you go and get a sheet of paper and start writing these things out. 3 columns, you as your asset, your experience, your education. Number 2, the things that you've created, what are those? And list them out as assets. And column number 3, what are the things that you may be self-funding or investing in or have purchased as an asset? All right. So all of those things can compile, accumulate together to create a foundational track record to start creating a valuation about what you currently have, what you bring to the table. And now you can start setting a plan to increase compounds value, so you can increase the value of the assets you already have and maybe what you want to create, but also begin creating a plan about where and how you want to take this. All right. And with every asset that we create, we want to make sure we protect that. All right, guys. So I'm Sivonnia DeBarros, protector of athletes. I'm just so elated that you joined me here today. And I cannot wait to see how this information really supports you guys. Look, if you want more, if you want to dive deep, if you want to talk about those assets and intellectual property and how that all comes to the table, go ahead and get your NIL Combine access right now. You can do that by going to bit.ly/NIL Combine-all access, but make sure you have it in all caps because it is case sensitive. I'm Sivonnia DeBarros, protector of athletes. Until next time, guys, I'll check you later. Bye.
This week on What Are You Sporting About podcast. Make sure to visit our website, prosportlawyer.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or whatever your favorite platform is, so you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes or iHeartRadio. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like the show, you might want to check out our book, What Are You Sporting About? Attorney Sivonnia DeBarros is available for private consulting at sldebarros.com. And remember, we're here to educate, support, and guide you in your journey to success, because we're all sporting about something.